So a priest, a rabbi, and a giraffe walk into a bar.
So
And
this
that's
guy
what he
walks
said.
up to the
Which
widow
way did he go?
at her husband's funeral.
So we just stood
And that's what
So
she
is the
said.
zebra
Dumbfounded.
black with white stripes? Or is he white with
Are
black
you talking
stripes?
about?
Who knows?
Come on.
Did he just say that?
Favorite
Walk into a
bubblegum.
bar.
Oh
You
my
don't think that's
God.
funny?
What are you, some kind of comedian?
Why, yes. Yes, I am. I'm Terri Walters,
And I'm Terri Zander.
and we are Some Kind of Comedian. And this is a podcast where we deconstruct the stand-up world, one comedian at a time.
Open your ears and your hearts
And your mind.
and your wallets.
Hey, not your wallets. What are you, some kind of comedian? Hey, welcome to Some Kind of Comedian. Hey, Terri Ann, how are you doing?
Guten Morgen.
It is morning. I know it's probably a little bit weird for you comedian types. Are you all coffeeed up? Because it is a little bit early for, actually, even for me. And I'm a morning person.
I'm not a morning person. No coffee for me. I'm going to stick to the adult beverage, otherwise known as H2O.
H2O. You don't do coffee? I didn't know that about you. Wow,
Yeah,
this is
no,
this is
coffee.
like a learning experience for me as well.
No coffee. Yuck. On the other hand, I do love coffee ice cream.
See, that's all right. You're a conundrum. You're a conundrum. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our, bizarre conversation and our wonderful show, Some Kind of Comedian. I am Terri Walters, and I am the kind of producer, engineer-y type person. And my sidekick and co-producer and co-host, actually, she's kind of the main gazane here. I just kind of follow along. Her groupie is Terri Zander. How you doing, Terri Ann? What's up with you?
What's up with you? What's up? I'm doing just fine. It's great to be here. It's really good to be here.
It's really good to be here.
Yeah.
I know this is our first show, so we're both a little bit goofball. We actually met a really, really long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, it's called grad school. We were both studying, I guess, communication, and look where we are now.
Right. Wow. We have, who knew then?
Yes, we've so evolved. We did a bunch of cool projects together. Somehow we gravitated toward each other, and the rest is history. Here we are, like a few decades later, and
Yep.
we're doing some fun stuff. We've also done some other, stuff in your kind of other life together. We've done some cool projects. We've done video work and stuff.
Yep.
So we've stayed in touch. You're one of the people that I've stayed in touch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as I kind of mentioned, I'm kind of a producer and an engineer for the show. You're going to be like kind of the host, because you're going to bring people in that you know. Tell me a little bit about what what you plan to do and that kind of thing here on the show.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Terri. Thank you. As the host of Some Kind of Comedian, what I intend to do is bring together comedians from all genres.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Amateurs, professionals, national touring comedians, a little bit of everybody. So I'm very excited about it. We're going to bring in some of my friends, people that I've had the opportunity to work with in the past, people I'd like to work with, see if I can get them on the show. That's going to be a heavy lift, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shameless self-promotion is always a good thing.
I think it is. I mean, let me see if I can, use my cough button. I'm kind of an amateur in this kind of situation. Let's talk a little bit, I guess, about the show. Like, what do we've both talked about the show for a while, and I'm happy we're, finally pulling the trigger on this. What do you think, we want our show to really be for our listeners?
Well, I'd like it to help people distress. I'd like it to be an opportunity for people to find the funny. I find the funny in everything, and I like that to bring that gift to others. How do you go about your day? And we need to stop and pause and just think about the funny that we can find in everything that we're doing. And by the way, it's far cheaper than a gym membership or psychotherapy. So this is what I hope. I hope to not only de-stress, but to put more money in your pocket at the end of the day.
That's actually really that's very nice of you for you to do that because the gym is kind of a funny situation for me. And actually, I have a gym in my house that I don't use, so that's actually really sad. So I think we both want the show to be comedy first. That's and you have often said find the funny. So I think that's something we'll explore, and because I guess there's funny really in everything, right?
Oh, sure. Why not?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You have to laugh, otherwise you cry. Is that the saying?
It's funny. In therapy for my kid, actually, one of the, the psychiatrists asked, "How do you get through your day?" And I said, "I just laugh. I just laugh because otherwise I'd be in a corner, cowering in a corner." So yeah.
Cool. And so the format of the show is going to be interviews. So you have your own story as far as getting into stand up, and we kind of want to explore other people's stories, right? Tell me a little bit. Tell me a little bit about what we want to know about because comedy is kind of a interesting, unique path.
Yeah, it's a form of self-torture, and what we want to do is get people, what makes you tick? Why is it exactly that you entered this phenomenon, otherwise known as stand-up comedy? Why? Why?
What's your why, right? It's
yeah. They do that in WW, in Weight Watchers. They talk about what's your why. Well, we're going to get to the root of the why. What is it about you? Oh, did you hear that? My whole voice just went.
I know, you're very emphatic.
Yeah, emphatic indeed.
I didn't know Weight Watchers had a why. I mean, the why for me for Weight Watchers would be I want to lose weight, but maybe that's not.
Oh no, if you have to go deeper into the recesses of your weight loss dilemma.
You're in your inner skinny person.
Yeah, my inner thinness.
Inner thinness.
Yeah. So yeah, what makes people tick? Why and how? This is going to be some hard hitting journalistic inquiry, if you will. The who, what, when, where, and why, and how of comedy.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of, interesting and weird stories, and I look forward to it. I mean, it's different for me because I do a lot of corporate stuff. So, but as I've always said, corporate is its own brand of funny. So, and when you talk about finding your funny, I'm always finding it. Let me just tell you. So we've got the real differentiator for us is going to be, it's the backstories. We're going to interview people. It's not really going to be, nobody's going to do a skit or a stand up or do their thing. It's really more, we want to talk to people about their backstories.
A skit? First of all, let's get the terminology right.
Okay.
Right?
Sorry. I'm sorry, ma'am.
Stick to your lane, sister. Skits. What is this, kindergarten? No.
I don't know. In corporate, they say, "Oh, we're going to do a skit." Okay,
yeah,
that says a lot.
Let me start by educating you. That's part of it too. We're going to educate the community about what comedy is, and maybe you learn a few things along the way. People aren't going to be doing their sets. They're not going to be doing their stand-up. They're not going to be doing their sketches. That's where you got the skit from. You were thinking sketch. I know you're not. Yeah, whatever.
Like etch-a-skit, I guess.
Can we all do our skits now? Everyone, get in your places. Class.
She's getting
bossy
pants.
Oh, you know what it is? I think it's just too early for me. That's all.
It's good. Have another swig of that non-caffeinated drink.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so. That's cool. I've learned that there's no skits now. All right. Thank you for that. Now we kind of touched on why we want to do this. And here I'll kind of, for me, we're in a really weird world.
Yeah.
We're in the bizarro world now.
I'd say.
And there's there's so much crap on TV, and the media is just, you're always getting pummeled by the bad news and the heavy stuff. And I just think, yeah, exactly. And comedy and laughter for me, is good medicine. When I'm laughing and having a good time, I feel my best. It's comedy is, I consider it kind of the universal language.
Oh, yeah.
That, and I'm, trying to build my super media empire. And this is just one brick in the wall, Terri Ann.
All we need is just stick to my lane. Don't sing this early. I did a solo when I was in, I think it was third grade, back in the day when they used to call it the holiday concerts. When you could actually call. Oh wait, they didn't call it holiday concert. They called it the Christmas concert.
That was a long time ago.
That was I'm dating myself. That's because I can't find other dates, I guess. Yeah.
Well, you have a lot in common.
I'm always swiping right on myself. I don't know. Swiping right. I think that's the direction I'm supposed to go. Right. I don't know.
It's good. I don't even know what you're referencing. That lets you know how out of touch I am. What is that?
Yeah.
Is that a reference to some kind of dating app or something?
Online dating apps, yes.
Oh.
When we listen to this recording in another 30 years, we'll be like, what was she talking about?
In another 30 years, I hope I'm still coherent.
That would be awesome. Wouldn't it be? Wouldn't it be fun? Let's get our crystal ball out and look into our futures. Now, you wanted to know about, why we're doing this, and I don't know. Why not? I have 30 minutes to fill each week with stuff, and I like to talk to people, and I like to laugh. So why the hell not?
I agree. I think I'm glad that you were able to fit me in, because I'm honored. Honored.
It's not me. It's you.
Yeah. It's it's always me. It's a problem. It's a problem.
It's
a
not
problem.
me. It's you.
It's not me. That's a good line. Now, you know what? That's actually, we should actually use that when we need to. It's not me. It's you.
Oh, how's that for?
Yeah.
What's that term? Passive aggressiveness. It's not me. It's you.
What's that term?
I've never been passive aggressive.
No?
No.
What do you mean?
Oh my goodness.
Well,
and this is without coffee. Let me just remind you, this is without the proper caffeination.
I and that actually surprises me. Like I said, I'm very surprised that you don't do coffee, because you're a very up person, and it's like, it's organic, which is interesting. So let me get back to our show here, because, since I'm the conductor on this train that seems to be rolling off the tracks in our first show, I hope that for me, and I'll toss it to you, of course, it fulfills me professionally in some way. I feel like, I'm searching for things to fill me up professionally, especially these days. As a live event producer, there's not a lot of live events. For you, as a live stand-up comedian, what are you looking for it to do for you?
It's to we're getting deep. It's really to allow me to expand my toolbox, if you will, to again enhance my listening skills, because it's not about you, it's me. No.
Enough about me. What do you think of me?
It's to foster my narcissism. No, it's really, I'm not a good listener anymore. And you know what? Being a good listener is important in comedy. And so being able to listen allows you to be more spontaneous and allows you to be a better person. In general. So listening and connecting with people, I think technology has kept us from connecting with people at a different level. So this is a way to connect with people, to allow them to express themselves and to allow them to learn more and to have fun doing it. I mean, if you're not going to have any fun, then what's the point? So let's make more fun in our lives. Let's create opportunities for more fun.
I agree. I think, you're right. Technology sometimes limits us, but why don't we seize on technology and do what we can? And that's kind of what we're doing here. We'll utilize what the tools we have, and let's create something interesting, hopefully, for our very cool very large hope to be audience.
Yes, yes. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
And they'll tell two friends, and so on and
Exactly.
so on.
It's a good time to say you should subscribe to the show because it's only going to get better from here.
Oh, please. Yeah. Hello.
So who do you think we're going to interview? You're the chief, ringleader here. What kind of people, not specific names right now, but like what types of people do we want to interview on this here thing?
Well, we're going to start with the East Coast, and we're going to work our way west. What we'd like to do is bring in the regional comedians.
Cool.
And we're gonna dabble with the amateurs at different levels of their careers. Amateurs, and then we're going to move into the professionals. Some that are national headliners and touring comedians that go from coast to coast. Comedy's all over the country. And there's different types of comedians depending where they came from and what their backstory is. So you may meet some people who came from the Midwest. You meet people that are performing both in the New York market and in the California market, which is kind of cool. And again, who tour nationally. Some that have performed on television, and they do television work, whether in the late night area. Anything's open.
Cool.
Anybody that's available between and claims to be funny. No, we're a little bit more discerning than that.
Not much though. All right.
I know. You're giving us away.
I know. No. We want the cream of the crop. Absolutely. And give our listeners a little bit about what are we going to ask them about? I know we're talking about their backstories. I mean, I know there are certain struggles that are specific to comedy, but maybe it's just not the struggles. Maybe it's their celebrations as well.
Well, yeah. It's like how do you overcome some of the challenges, even while on stage or in breaking into the industry. How did your career, what challenges did you face? The art of comedy, it's not all it's cracked up to be. It's not all laughs all the time. The business of comedy. There's all different ways that we can deconstruct, if you will, and put it together. There's a lot to be learned.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of personal stories that people have about their entire journey. I mean, how even your, as far as your story, I mean, how you got into it and, how it was kind of you kind of stumbled into it, right? I mean, somebody said to you that it was your passion and you hadn't really thought about that, right?
Right. Well, I was a class clown back in the day and the least likely to succeed. So when you put those
here you are
again, who knew the $64,000 question, but I did kind of stumble on it in a business environment. Somebody mentioned it, and while it's always been in the back of my head, I actually wanted to be on radio, and because I have a face for radio, I won't deny it. And oh, stop! Surely you jest, but somebody mentioned it, and I said, hey, I'll look into that and pursue it, and that was a couple years ago, and I've already had some really cool opportunities at my amateur level.
Cool.
So
I'm impressed.
Oh well,
but
I'll be signing autographs later, and you can sign up on to follow us and subscribe, and maybe one day I can come to a city near you.
You're already on the TV, man. Well, on the TV.
Yeah.
Yes. See, that's dating myself too.
Yeah.
Again, back to that. Cool. So, our frequency, like we're still kind of evolving this. We don't know whether we're going to be weekly. We don't know if we're going to be bi-weekly or bi-monthly. I always get bi-weekly and bi-monthly mixed up. What the hell's
too. I do too.
What's the difference?
I have to Wikipedia it every time I say it.
That takes a long time.
Oh, I know. It's like, okay, well, let's just say this every other week, maybe,
right?
Or once a month, or every other month. I
right.
don't know. I don't. You know what? I think people are going to crave us after a while, and
we're like a drug.
Yeah, you're going to need your fix.
Yeah.
So but I don't want to prematurely,
Don't go there.
Yeah. Well, I could. It is a family show. If you're into that kind of thing.
I'm not really a morning person, but that's another conversation.
I do my best work after midnight. But
I'm asleep after midnight. Anyway.
Yeah. So what were we saying? Oh, yeah. So
yeah.
we're gonna make it so it's sustainable. How about that?
Yeah, we'll be consistent in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
but
we'll be consistently off schedule. And,
yes, and off kilter.
And you can expect nothing.
It's true. So, I mean, basically, really the audience has nothing to do but sit back and laugh and, participate and, come along with us on our journey and our creative endeavor. This is a labor of love. And, this will evolve, just like everything that I tend to be doing this in this weird, bizarro world. And I'm sure you too, things are evolving.
Oh, yeah. I think we're going to, we hope you tell your friends.
Yeah.
And tell your family. And, you could sit around. Remember the days of radio when you all used to sit around the big brown radio and hunker in and listen to, like George Orwell days.
I don't think there's a lot of people left on the planet that.
Oh, come on now. My dad's still with us.
Me too. My mom too. Now that I said that, now I feel really bad.
I think we should be, because people aren't doing so much flying right now. You can just put us in on your, search for us while you're, in the airport. Going through TSA checks or, if the family gets in the car and travels cross country to see the national parks this summer, I suggest you tune in and listen to Some Kind of Comedian.
I think you should download beforehand because, the data rates are really, really high.
Yeah.
Download us, a whole bunch of times. And our website is somekindofcomedian.com. I was lucky enough to actually snag that. I don't know how that happened, but
it's amazing stuff.
I don't know really what that means, whether it's good or bad, but we were actually able to get our choice. So there we go. So that's our show. It's going to be, we're going to do it interviews. Terri Ann is going to rock the house with interviews of the leading edge comedians, first on the East Coast, and then we're going to cover and take over the entire country with our amazing funniness. And we're going to be, interviewing people left and right. And not left and right because you say that, it means something different. But, we're not going to talk about any of that stuff. Maybe we will. Maybe, I don't know where it's going to go.
I hope not.
Oh, exactly. Well, sometimes that kind of stuff
But you
creeps
never
in.
know where we're going to go.
It's true. It creeps in. So, but that is pretty much, we've kind of beaten a dead horse here. We're letting you guys know that we are going to start this thing. It's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. You will see it on Apple Podcasts. You will see it on Google Podcasts. You'll see it on whatever other podcatchers you got out there, Spotify. And quite frankly, if anybody wants to sponsor us, because we're going to be so groovy, just feel free to give us a call or an email directly.
Who knows? I could be converted to drinking coffee.
I could drink more. We need a coffee sponsor.
Anybody?
Yeah. All right. Well, that kind of seems like we should put a button on it there. We'll be dropping something shortly at a podcatcher near you.
Peace out.
Hey, thanks for listening. We consider you our fans, our groupies, if you will. So please support us by subscribing to the show on the podcatcher of your choice. You can also find us at somekindofcomedian.com. The opinions expressed on Some Kind of Comedian are the opinions of our individual guests and not necessarily the organizations to which they're affiliated. Some Kind of Comedian is a production of TAZ Comedy and Moonfish Production Limited. Thanks again for listening, and hey, keep laughing.